True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about our lives, ourselves, and the world around us. In the future, will technology bring us a new understanding that we can use to make our world better? What if everything had a voice? Plants, buildings, cars, devices, your body. What if everything could listen, but also talk and talk to each other, taste, smell, see, respond, and connect? How would the world be better? Would it be more productive, more inclusive, more comfortable? Would it be less wasteful, safer, healthier? Would we be wiser?
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning to discuss the voice of things. And the technology has evolved quite a bit since I first started teaching personal computers at school in Boston, and how I used to make my tuitions to get to school. From those days to where we are today, it went through tremendous changes. Obviously, PC back then was a toy for some. It changed from mainframes to mini computers to personal computer era. It feels like it's an ages ago, but it wasn't that long, really. And today, we have smartphones that are making you sense and be able to locate and giving you the apps that can be able to run things much better. And these devices are now billions out there. And what we are discussing really, what's coming up, is really around smart things. Smart things with sensors, smart things with the analytics, smart things with the connectivity that was mentioned earlier, should be able to give us much better living. And those things we are discussing the scale of billions and maybe 50 billion in the description of IDC, who knows? But I think what's important is these are smart machines that are going to make our lives better. I'm really excited about being able to work and experience that. Let me show you one example of the activity that are going on around the world in this. And this is a Think4, which is basically a search engine for IoT. And this is a more geographical map of where the action is. And clearly, it is everywhere from United States all the way to Asia, to Europe. And the darker, those purple colors are the more activities. And the blue means a bit less. Where my wife is from Minnesota is a bit bluish. But I think it's a lot to do with also population density as well. And you can see some other areas, like in Africa, in middle of Asia, we have a tremendous opportunity to expand the connectivity and expand these experiences that cannot be shared. So I do think that we have a lot of opportunities out there. I'm going to pick one location that I used as a part of my way of the playing with IoT things. So please take it as mode of play. But this was a location in California. And I go there a lot in weekend when the wind blows in nearby Santa Cruz. And this location is a place called Waddell. And we geo-mapped it using my phone. And basically using the technology to take a picture of what's going on around me. Because when you are surfing, it's really hard to take a picture of yourself. And clearly, some people doesn't want to always come and try to take a picture of you. So I'm trying to figure out how to automate this process. So along with my two buddies, we figured out ways to do it. It's very easy to do because tools are available. So let me show you the video of that. So it's not always smooth. Sometimes the waves can really knock you down. So the guy that are jumping was me. And basically, it would be very hard to take picture of you with moving still camera or your phones, because you're going about 25 to 30 knots an hour. So you have to move very quickly, and you need something that can be able to tilt and capture. So technology we used was first of all drones to take a picture of where I am and give you perspective. It turned out that I'm very close to where great white sharks are out there. And the other thing is that using the camera called Solo Shot. It basically is a robotic arm. Whether you put a video on the top, I have a transmitter, it just follows you around wherever I go, as far as half miles out. And then, of course, use GoPro to get a perspective where your body is, and your phones to control things. So these are some of the technologies we used. Without cameramen, be able to experience the kind of things that most people want to see but couldn't see before. I can imagine this technology can also go to the moms, where when they watch a soccer game, just plug one of those things there and automatically taking picture of the kids rather than spending time trying to take a picture. Now you can be able to do so without following those around. So these are examples of technologies enabling because of connectivity, because of processors, because of the cameras, and the others that are together, you can be able to make better sense and better experience out of this. The advance wasn't happen overnight. It took some time. You guys remember this phone? I used this as a reference point. And this was the Goldie Gecko, and using a fairly heavy phone. In fact, I used one of those when I was working back then. And the extremely expensive, almost $4,000, with a less than an hour voice time. Well, today, you can really use the latest phones that can get you a much longer talk time, as much as 20 hours, or depend on how much video and other things that you're using, and has multiple radios, as well as multiple sensors, so that you know a lot more about where you are, accelerometers, gyro sensors, infrared technology. All these things are available for you to make the best out of the experience. And these things just continue to happen. So I think the good news is that these technologies are going to benefit a lot about what we do, knowing more about our habits, knowing more data that can get you more insight. So in some sense, to me, this is the beginning of IoT. And we've been continuing this journey. Now, this benefit isn't just for the people like me or people in Wall Street like Goldie Gecko. It can also benefit people that are in I2I. It really meant to Ivory Coast all the way to Indonesia. That segment is actually fastest growing smartphone market today. Not US, not Europe. And the point I think is that people are using these technologies for managing their business. Fishermen, they can be able to manage their inventory so that they can take the right amount of fish to the market. Before, it was more of a guess. Now they have a much better information about the demand, weather, and being able to manage their supply. In addition to that, there are a whole bunch of people that did not have access to the banking. Now in Kenya, over 15 million of people are using the mobile banking to do their transactions. So these things are some examples of things that are already happening. And it's just beginning. I see a lot more opportunities going forward. But there are major challenges that we do have to overcome. We're not there yet. And I think earlier, San Francisco discussed around the importance of connectivity. And I think having these things available for not only consumer, commercial, but also industrial experience. So some of the global challenges are something you can all relate to. Shifting demographics. That's a big challenge for a lot of us, particularly countries like Korea and Japan. It is the fastest aging country in the world. People are living much longer. In fact, they are the longest living people on Earth. And the birth rates are less than 1. So when you do a calculation, you can imagine the burden of the health carrying costs and social costs that are going along with that. Urbanization, already almost half of people are urbanized. And the shift will only continue. Along with that, you will have a lot bigger issues and challenges. Climate change, I don't have to tell you. I think we are really happy when we get rain in San Francisco. And I know where I studied in Boston, we had a dump this year. So this is a contrast we are living with. And I don't know where it's going to go, but I do know that we have more superstorms. And we're worried about air quality, especially if you've been to Beijing, and the increase in temperature issues that we have to deal with. These are all mega challenges that we have to think about. So I'll give you one example of what we worked on in healthcare space. And this is an area that I've been passionate about because I believe that technology can do something about how we live. Between the medicine and IT, I think there's an opportunity to collaborate and be able to take advantage of technology to accelerate the healthcare, particularly preventive healthcare in the areas. So a couple of things we have done that we announced last year was announced a product called SimBand. It's not a commercial product. It's a research platform. We want people to develop sensors that can be able to measure their heart rate variabilities, blood pressure. We are also hoping to develop glucose. There's some ways to go, as well as the galvanic sensings, as well so they can be able to manage your stress and your temperature. These are some fundamental things that we want to monitor around your body so that we have a 24/7 continuous monitoring around your senses so that we know more about our issues way before we get to see a doctor. In some ways, what we're trying to do is create a dashboard like you have seen in automobiles. Think about the days where you have to use oil sticks. Think about how much oil do I have. Some of you may not remember because too young, but I do remember those days. And I think the dashboard on tires, these things are all given now, right? Your car gives you these information up front in your dashboard so that you don't have to check these elements. This is where we need to go. And I think there's an opportunity to contribute by IT being more involved on that. I think the other thing is, what do you do with data? SimBand alone generates gigabits of data because it's 24/7. That data have to get ingested, have to aggregated, have to be analyzed, and then visualized, and then we have to make sense out of that. So that's where you will see the cloud opportunities, and you'll hear more about our announcement today on how to address that issue. So the technical challenges that we are trying to solve at Samsung, we're very committed to IoT. There are multiple issues that we have to come. It's not just connecting. Connection is really critical, but we have to make sure things are small because not all application requires one size. There are multiple needs, multiple power requirements, as well as interoperability. When you have multiple devices, they don't talk to each other. You're living in the day of silo. We need to make sure these things are come together and being able to fuse and get a sense out of multiple data sources. And then obviously, as you're getting more information about you, your house, your body, the privacy and security is a mandate. It's something that we must address. And then getting better insight as I described. And then how do you also make sure it's easier to develop? So we need to figure out making a tool that accelerates development. Today, what you're going to hear from discussion is around these solutions. What are we doing about it? And clearly, Samsung is not doing alone. We'll do our part, but also going to ask our partner to step up so that together we can solve these issues. And my presentation today is about we are going to do this together to solve and accelerate the IoT innovation. So the part of our commitment is our part. Our part is really around making sure that we continue to spend our dollars and research effort in the area that matters. We spend $15 billion a year in R&D, which is one of the largest R&D dollars. And we want to spend these dollars in making lives better, making things better through better chips, better displays, better connectivity, as well as better complete products. And we have also committed all of our products will have 100% connectivity so that they can be able to be part of the ecosystem. So that's the part that we are committing to. We are also committed to spend dollars in encouraging innovation by supporting early stage companies. So these are some of the elements that are critical to enable this. But doing it alone isn't good enough. So what first we're going to announce is our Samsung Arctic, which is a powerful building blocks in the form of a highly integrated hardware and software modules, and development and deployment system that are easier and faster to build by the developers out there. So now using these key IoT building blocks, developers can easily enable smart, connected devices. So what we want to do is really, we want to build the scale and size of Samsung so that you can then build on the top of these products. So let me show you a little bit about our Arctic platform. So Arctic platform is the most advanced family of hardware and software for IoT. So when you think about Samsung, you usually think about hardware only. This is really a solution. It's a system. We call it SOM, System on Module, SOM. And the module is basically a complete system. You add a battery, you put a display, and you can go. And we also provide a software environment, including the OS, as well as drivers that can be able to run with you. So we were thinking these things in mind. And obviously, we also need to expand that so that other devices, other operating system, and other ecosystem can come in. So it is an open, as well as enabling others to jump in and contribute to that. So security is another thing I'm going to discuss this morning. We are trying to bring the best security that are available that are not only software protection, but also hardware hardened product as well. And then lastly, around cloud solutions. Okay, let's look at the Arctic modules. I actually have a chip here. It is so small, it's probably hard for you to see. It's a slightly fatter version of Ladybug. And it has power to pretty much control the things you described earlier around sensors, hubs, that type of things. That's what we call Arctic 1. And then we have Arctic 5, Arctic 10, depend on what your needs are. So I'll go through a little bit around each of them. So Arctic 1 is really a dual processor. And it has the memory, so that you can be able to put some of your content there. It has also sensors, so that you can be able to measure accelerometers and that type of things. It also has a Bluetooth connections. If you want Zigbee, we can also add that as well. And has a very low power consumption. I think what I really like about this is small and it's very low power. I believe it's the lower power and smaller than anything out there in the market today. And on the top of that, we have a hardware secure element. I'll talk more about that as well. Where is it good at? Probably in the area of beacons, things like activity trackers, IoT end node, which would be billions about there. The IoT Arctic 5 is a bit more powerful. So you can see that is this module. And this is the ideal size for really the power and price and performance. And has built in the EPOP, which is our proprietary DRAMs and flash, all built into the same chip, so that we can be able to give you not only caching, but also local storage and other kind of applications that are memory intensive. And that would be good for things like drones, IP-based camera, because it has built in some of the video encoding and decoding capabilities. What you're hearing is this. We make more than 1 million devices per day, whether it's smartphones or TVs. So we make a lot of these core components. What we want to do is leverage that and provide that offering to outside people, so that all of you can take advantage of what we developed with our in-house. So the higher end is Arctic 10. Arctic 10 is like what you see from our smartphones. So basically, it is a complete system that can get you the octa processor, which means it has 8 processors that can be able to run things concurrently, and also give you a huge memory of DRAMs as well as flash. 16 gigabyte of flash memory in a small module like this is unheard of. This is a whole bunch of memory. You can maybe be able to put a lot of your personal information on this ever going out. So ideally for hub or even local storage type of applications. It also provides a high display support, as well as the high definition decoding and encoding. So this is what you find on our smartphones. And we want to leverage the same technology that we have given you in our phones to IoT market. This whole idea came when I was talking with one of the founder of iRobot. And she asked me, Young, why couldn't I use same chip that are in a smartphone For my drone applications, why do I have to develop one by one from processors, memories, to video encoders and decoders and I/O and all those things? And I said, that makes sense. Why don't we do that? Let's create a form factor that can help you to run these things. And we're going to test these things so you can put your smart application on the top of our modules. So that's the really idea behind these things. But there are a lot of concerns about security. So I decided to make one particular video on this. So please take a look at the Arctic video.
At Samsung, we believe that every device should deliver the best possible security and privacy, whether you're building things for homes or things for smart cities. That means controlling who can access the device, what they are allowed to do, and what information they can view. We start with the hardware. At the heart of every Arctic module is our secure element hardware, containing a unique device certificate tied to cryptographic keys, which are locked into each module as they're made. So every device has its own secure ID and authenticating keys, hidden and inaccessible to hackers. A segregated trust zone and trusted execution environment are available only to authenticated services to prevent malicious applications from gaining access to protected areas. Arctic makes things both smarter and more private, using local intelligence to store and analyze data without accessing the cloud. Arctic can also interrupt potential hacking activity by identifying unusual behaviors affecting the device. Data sent over networks or stored on devices can be encrypted for additional privacy and transactional security. Arctic provides serious security and protects privacy, thanks to Samsung's exclusive technologies and innovative partnerships. So Arctic-enabled devices, data, and services can work together safely in the Internet of Things.
Great. So hardware embedded security is something we believe is extremely important, having its own unique ID certificate that are also part of a common certification process so that it's compatible with a security ecosystem so that you can be able to add these features on the top of your applications you're running. I think this is just part of the story, and you will see us continue to working on this very critical issue. And the OEMs, as a benefit, can be able to deliver your firmware's updates and avoid the premature obsolescence of your products as a part of secure transmission and updates. So let me tell you a little bit about what we are doing around our platform. So the platform is really around open source software. It supports multiple software tools, as well as the kits that are ready to go. It has open API, so that you can be able to add other devices. And it has a compatible with third-party products and tools. You're going to hear more about that today. The best news of actually what's coming is the fact it's available. So let me show you what you will see in our booth. So this is a Arctic platform that you will see that our developers will get today. Some of you will get each. And what's inside is basically a development board and software that can be able to get you going. So I think it's important that you have the right tools, environment, and software that can accelerate the development of our IoT products. Whether it's 1 or 5 or 10, it doesn't matter. I think we have a board that can help you to get going. So the question then is, how do you then connect to the cloud? Open, you ask those questions. So we have worked on this. And as you know, we've been working with our Smart Things. So what I'd like to do is ask Alex Hawkinson, CEO of Smart Things, to come on out. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Everybody.
Right. So I don't know whether everybody knows about Smart Things, so maybe we can give some background.
Yeah, just a little bit of background. I mean, the company is, 3 to 4 years old now, and we focused at the beginning at being the easiest way for any consumer to make their home into a smart home and make their life into a smart life. And so to try to make it easy for everybody. But What a lot of folks probably here know is that we also focused on being an open platform from the beginning. So embracing device makers, developers, service providers, but others that would bring the innovation to the platform to come up with all the ideas and the use cases around it. So that's what SmartThings is today, and I think we have the biggest ecosystem of any of the platforms that are out there.
So what does Arctic mean to you in terms of a platform for your smart things?
We're incredibly excited about it, and we're going to say a few more things as well. But today, bringing our own products to market took many, many months and a lot of cost and complexity just for us. But then we've also seen that now in SmartThings, there's been more than 19,000 types of devices added by device makers on the outside. There's been more than 30,000 applications published on the platform. And there's still barriers. That's even with the barriers to innovation that are happening now. So I think that Arctic would have shaved our time to market. It's going to make it much more efficient for innovators to come up with new ideas and bring them all the way from concept to reality.
So smart things really helped people to be able to connect and be able to control, which was hard to do by individual programming. So you made it much easier way to do that by creating approach. And then Arctic will probably provide the hardware side of it. How about the cloud?
So in addition to this, we've also realized that there's a lot of opportunity in the space between the devices, not just these individual devices. And so one of the things we're excited to be working on together and we're announcing today, and similarly available today, is the SmartThings Open Cloud. And this is I guess it's a sister. It's paired with Arctic because it'll enable any developer that's building a device based on Arctic to think about the full device and service that they want to create without having to build their own cloud if they don't want to. So SmartThings Open Cloud is available today. It is something that it's already got hundreds of products that are connected to it that developers can work with. It's open, it's secure, and comes with pre-built libraries on Arctic.
Right. So my understanding is that the SmartThings Open Cloud will enable you not only having SmartThings hub-based products to load up, but also because of the powered by SAMI, you can have the other multimodal products to come in.
Exactly.
And along with that, our consumer electronic products can come in as well. So you got a pass for multiple of these things can all come together. And in the way that aggregation of the data will probably help the people get better insight.
Exactly, all of those things. It really brings together the best technology. It's powered by SAMI and some of the things that were announced last year. It brings together the best of that with what was in the SmartThings Cloud, and it really should make it easier, faster for device makers, for developers, for service providers to come up with all sorts of applications for these things. So secure looks at all this data and wonderful new opportunities to create fully functional applications and platforms and systems for the world.
Great. I think we have a great journey together I think I was asked earlier, we need to get better insight, and the smart insight must come from data that can be ingested and we have to make sense out of it. So we'll do it together on this.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Let's give him a big applause. So I mentioned the consumer electronics. So let me introduce the Yoon Lee from our Samsung home and electronic device. Please come on up. Yoon, thanks for coming out.
Well, thanks for having me here.
Korea. How was your trip?
Oh, it's been great.
Yeah.
Great weather.
Yeah, that's true. Not cold.
Not cold at all.
Right. So many of them in the room, they know Samsung. Samsung is over $200 billion electronic company, but they don't maybe know. Maybe they have their products, they just don't know how big consumer electronic division is. So can you talk about the CE Group?
Absolutely. So we ship about over 660 million products every year as a Samsung Electronics. And we have the largest TV business, and we have the second largest home appliances business in the world. So that means tens of millions of units in TVs and millions of units in refrigerators and washing machines. So that's quite significant amount of products that we ship around the world.
Wow, that's a lot of boxes.
That's a lot of boxes.
Right. So tell me about what's your view of the what I call Arctic for your product line. What are your concerns?
Earlier this year, during the CES, our president and CEO, BK Yoon, for the CE division, made a commitment that in 5 years, most of our products will be connected. And we have a vision of connecting all of our products by 2020. Our point of view is if it's not connected, it's not really relevant to your lifestyle.
Right.
We want our products to be relevant to your lifestyle, which means that products as small as robot vacuum cleaners to as big as refrigerators, we want to make them connected. Security and privacy is not a matter of sizes, it applies to all the products. Since we made that type of commitment, we need to ramp up our development effort very fast.
Right.
I think Arctic, together with SmartThings Open Cloud, will be essential and critical for us to get there.
That sounds great for the having the synergy between the component side and module side and cloud side, working with a set side
Yes.
to enable a great new products.
Yes, I think it's very important, and as one of your internal clients, we're very excited that we have this tool available for us.
By the way, internal clients is one of the toughest clients too. But we really appreciate it. I look forward to continuing our journey. I'm glad that we have some product that can accelerate development and get you connected by 2020.
Absolutely,
All right,
absolutely.
thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So I'm going to go from the largest consumer electronic company to now smallest, the startups. And what I'd like to do is introduce the CEO of Boogio. Jose, are you there? Great. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem.
So we met about 6 months ago. I was very inspired by the kind of work you're doing. So maybe you can talk a little bit about what you're up to.
We brought a video. We're
Okay.
basically bringing people to IoT. So
Great.
let's see the video.
Great.
Boogio is a technology for your feet. It delivers precision data that moves wearables way beyond simple fitness trackers. It's comprised of tiny computers and sensory stickers you install to make any shoe a smart shoe. We are developing Boogio to capture body movement from the ground up. We are experimenting with mobile games, virtual reality, fitness, and training. We are also opening up the platform to developers to program new possibilities. We have even leveraged Boogio to help our partners at Florida Hospital try and tackle some of the big challenges.
The site where we are today is Celebration Health. It's our living laboratory campus. So with pediatric rehabilitation, that is one of the areas where we have opportunity to look outside the walls and how we engage with patients. It's a challenge area in terms of compliance with making your scheduled time. We have a lot of cancellations, which is understandable in today's world. I mean, you've got busy families. We think this is a ripe opportunity for, one, not only to be able to collect data maybe when they're not here with a wearable device such as the Boogio at home, but when they are here, how do we really personalize that care with that information that we've been able to collect?
As an engineer working on Boogio, seeing someone else use it, wear it, and try to apply the lessons learned, it's like nothing else. The Arctic platform acts as a democratizing tool, enabling us to innovate on hardware in addition to software.
That wasn't so bad, right? We're excited to be partnering with Samsung on the new Arctic platform to enable us to take our technology to the next level. We're announcing the Boogio Generation 5, smaller, faster, and more optimized to really deliver the performance we need.
Great. You're working some really important contribution to helping kids to walk better, and this whole balancing and being able to walk is actually not only a problem of youngsters, but also as you get older, it is one of the big issues. Now, you have a solution that you're working on with us. So can you show what you had been and how you're going to intend to make it different?
Absolutely. So Arctic comes at a very critical time in our development cycle. We spent 18 months to get to the point where we had our prototype. Today, we're showing the new Boogio Generation 5 leveraging Arctic 1. As you can see, it's tiny compared to where we've been.
Let me just see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's based on Arctic One.
That's the Arctic One.
And then that is
yeah.
the-
This was us trying to wrangle Bluetooth stacks, memory, battery power, all of
Right,
that stuff.
right.
Now we can leverage Arctic One and focus on the applications as
Right.
well as developing our sensors to really get to the challenges that are needed here.
So the benefit of what we are doing is really having you not to spend time on putting together chips, memories, power management, sensors, all that stuff into one because it's done.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we're excited because this is a really important time for us. We are excited to announce our partnership with Florida Hospital, and I actually have Ashley in the audience. Ashley, where are you at? Can I have you stand up? Where are you at? Oh,
great.
hi,
Okay.
Ashley. Yeah, thank you so much.
Great.
We're really excited to be partnering with you guys. It's a big deal.
Well, Jose, I think this is really exciting.
Yeah.
What you're doing is a startup working on a very big issues like this, using really sensors and controllers and connectivity to make the difference, and it's worth a lot of.
It wouldn't have been
kudos, yeah.
possible for taking this next step without the help of Samsung, and we're really excited to be partnering with you guys.
Looking forward to working with
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks a lot.
Take care.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Okay, so I think that you can see that really the power of working together, and the working together community is maybe better represented by someone who's been working on this, helping people to learn how to use computers and closing the gap between technology to artists or users without having the fear of programming and using these technologies. So let me introduce the CEO and founder of Arduino. Please, Massimo. Buongiorno.
Good
to see you.
everybody.
So Massimo came from Italy originally, and he goes around the world. I understand you live in an airplane nowadays.
Yes, that's my official residence.
Does IoT helps you?
Yes, it does, I guess, because I'm always on the move. So obviously, I have a lot of gadgets and connected devices that help me stay connected with the world.
So I don't know whether everybody knows about what you do. I mean, actually, to be honest, I heard that through my son. So I think that there are probably many people like that are out there. And what you're doing is great. And you have a big users, and you start from very humble beginnings. So maybe we can talk about that.
Yeah, so, well, Arduino is a platform that helps people be creative with electronics. It started off because I was teaching designers, so very creative people that don't have a background in technology. But now it's extending to a lot of people, like children are using it to learn about electronics, to build stuff. A lot of people are moving from just playing around with the technology to actually building startups and companies. A lot of startups nowadays started off with an Arduino prototype, and then they sort of then build it into a real product.
Yeah.
So that's we in a way it's a tool. It's an enabler that makes electronics more democratic, more available to people.
So how does Arctic fit into Arduino community? How do you work together? Maybe you can talk about that to the outside people.
Well, so we're basically working together to make the Arctic platform available to the Arduino community, which is a large community of creative people that go again from artists, designers, to people who are launching startups, and obviously there are a lot of interested in the IoT world right now, so building IoT products. And Arctic really it's a tool that enables people to create more powerful products.
And I understand you actually do a lot of training. You have hackathons, you have the training programs, and you got communities. Maybe you can talk about how you're managing this community, right?
So the community is pretty large. So for example, in the last year, the Arduino website has had 20 million visitors. And I'd say about 6 to 7 million are actually people who spend a lot of time on the website. So it's really a big community that connects all sorts of people. And then obviously we spend a lot of time going around the world teaching workshops, because it's really a way, it's not about teaching how to use the technology, but it's about to see what people want to do and learn how we can make it simpler and easier for them.
Right. So you're trying to make technology not as difficult. It isn't just for EE or computer scientists. and really for everybody.
I think we are, with the maker movement that's being celebrated this week in San Francisco, really we're taking technology and electronics to all sorts of people and enabling them to really, change their life, create new jobs, create new companies.
That's
I think
great.
it's very important.
Yeah. Well, thank you for teaching.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I think Arduino has done a great job of helping to create this community. But obviously, when you have these modules, programming these devices are not that simple. So there are companies that help you to do that. And one of the very important community to do that is Tembu. So let me introduce the Tembu team to come out. Vaughn and Cormac, please.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Great. Cormac, good to see you. So show us your stuff.
Sure.
Right.
All right. So hi, I'm Vaughn Chanal from Timbu, and Timbu is a flexible technology stack for the Internet of Things, uniquely designed for both hardware and software developers. We've got a live demo to show you today. So
you sure you want to take the risk?
we will take the risk and slowly unfurl this. And Timbu has had the great opportunity to work closely with Samsung to develop a special Timbu Arctic software library that comes preloaded on every Arctic device, making it easy for Arctic developers to connect hardware to the internet, interact with hundreds of APIs, and extend device functionality and flexibility using our cloud. Right now, we'll show it to you in action. And keep in mind, this is a live demo that features electronics, water, and conference internet. So we've got a backup demo ready just in case. So right now, my colleague Cormac is on the Timbu website, which you can see on screen. And on the Timbu site, we have resources, documentation, and code generation tools for creating embedded applications on our cloud-based platform. And right now, we'll program an Arctic device to monitor a water tank and send automated phone call alerts whenever that tank is running low. And we can do it all in a single page on the Timbu website. So right here at the top, we have our Arctic device selected, because that's what we'll be programming today. And we can quickly set that device to stream sensor data readings to a variety of data services. Today, we'll be streaming water level data to Microsoft Power BI to provide a live graph and data visualization of a tank's current water level. Next, Cormac can set a condition here so that Timbu will trigger an automated phone call alert whenever the tank is running low. And all of the inputs for that phone call, like Nexmo API keys, the phone number, and the text of the message are already saved in this Timbu account. So filling out that part is really easy. Finally, we can set another condition so that I can remotely turn on a pump that's connected to this Arctic device if I hit 1 on my keypad during an automated phone call alert. And believe it or not, we've actually just created a complete program for a smart rainwater tank. And all of the code for our Arctic device has been dynamically generated in the browser right here. And this code is designed and optimized specifically for the Arctic platform. Now, this water tank setup here in this Arctic device has that code we just generated already on it. And you can see the water level data streaming to this graph on screen. The idea here is to have a smart rainwater tank that you can use for watering crops, have a live dashboard to view the tank's current water level, and receive automated phone call alerts whenever that tank is running low. So now Cormac will start draining the tank, and you should be able to see the graph update on screen. And once the tank gets low enough, it will trigger an automated phone call alert to our phone here, which will give me the option to refill the tank by pressing 1 on my keypad during the phone call. So in any moment, if our cell phone service is working, we should get an automated phone call alert. And here it's coming.
You mean to answer that?
Yeah.
Alert. Your rainwater tank is low, and your crops need to be watered soon. Press 1 to refill the tank by pump from the well.
Go ahead and press 1.
All right.
Okie dokie. Refilling the tank now.
And in a moment, the Arctic device will turn on the pump and start refilling the tank.
Oh, there you go.
There you have it. So this...
All right. Works.
So this complete program was programmed quickly and easily using Timbu's IoT stack with live code generation that handles device programming, data streaming, API connections, and more. If there's one thing I want you to remember about Timboo, it's this. We focus on making all of the pieces of the Internet of Things fit together so that you can focus on the big picture. We're so excited to be working with Samsung on the Arctic platform and can't wait to see all the amazing applications Arctic developers will build.
Well, you know, I wish I can go back to school. I remember the assembly language classes. Yeah. Well,
Thank you so much.
Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Let's give them a big. Yeah. Well, the next subject is something that I believe is really important to all of us. That is to do with the droughts that we are having in California. And I think technology can help. As you know, we are consuming 38 billions of gallons of water per day, and half of that water is wasted through the leakage and other issues. So what if we can use technology to address and manage and sense water issues? So that's the challenge that I want to have our developers to think about and help us to contribute. To do that, I want to show you one company all the way in France, actually, that are working on something like this. So let me show you the WINET video, please.
Agriculture accounts for 70% of the world's water consumption. Unfortunately today, California and the world over are facing one of the biggest droughts of all time. Smart water use has never been so important for today's farmers. At WINET, our mission is to revolutionize agronomics by providing farmers with affordable, easy solutions that help them optimize time and make informed decisions about irrigation and crop management. We've invested heavily in R&D, and we are proud to present our WINETs. Completely wireless, connected sensors that measure and transmit soil and air data directly to a farmer's smartphone or computer. Our sensors are ready to use with a long battery life and can be placed directly in the fields. With low-power, wide-area networks like Sigfox, we are able to dispatch data wirelessly to the WINET.com application. In the future, with the Samsung Arctic Production Ready platform, we expect faster development of new types of measures, improved battery life, and smaller form factors, making it even easier for farmers like Antoine here to access maximum information for minimal effort. WINET has helped Antoine and other farmers around the world implement intelligent water practices that save water and time and result in increased yields. Join us today on our mission of a technologically connected agricultural revolution.
So we believe there is a tremendous opportunity to work on these type of issues that are not only commercial, industrial, but also managing natural resources better. And the Arctic, along with the low-band, low-power networking, and new sensor modules, and along with the cloud data, should be able to provide better intelligence about where things are leaking, where the issues are, so that we can be much more proactive in managing our resource. The challenge that we're going to announce today is really a $100,000 prize for the winning solution in managing our water resource. And also we will put the Samsung Investment Fund to support the startups that are in this area. And we'll announce the winner at the next Samsung Developers Conference. So that is really something we can do from our side using our IoT solution to enable and focus in a critical areas that we believe is important. So today, I think what you heard is really announcement of the SOM, the System of Modular Solution from Arctic, as well as the cloud solutions from SmartThings Open Cloud, and really just a number of developers and partners that are enabling us to contribute to accelerate of development. So I really appreciate your attention, and thank you very much.